Let me turn to Dr. Husam Zomlot, who's the head of the Palestinian mission here in London. Good morning, Dr. Zomlot. Now, on Friday morning, which is the day that this particular spate of violence really began, there were Palestinians who appeared to have been dropping stones and other items from the Aqsa compound down towards the Western Wall, where Jews were beginning Passover by praying at the Western Wall. That did happen, didn't it?
Good morning, Michelle, and happy Easter. I didn't see any of that. Nobody saw any of that. But we saw the invasion of the compound, the Aqsa Mosque. We saw the hundreds of Israeli soldiers with tear gas, bullets. We saw them raiding and desecrating the mosque itself. That was captured. We haven't seen any of these lies that we keep hearing, and this was not the first time, and perhaps it will not be the last. We remember in 1969, an Israeli extremist tried to burn the entire mosque, and it continues on a regular basis. Jews do pray in Jerusalem all the time. Nothing happens. Why does it happen in this particular time? It's not due to Ramadan. It's due to some extremist Jewish groups who want to actually practice some religious rituals in a mosque. Like churches are for Christians, synagogues are for Jews, mosques are for Muslims. And it is Israel's responsibility as an occupying power to respect the status quo and to protect the freedom of worship.
In most places in the world, visitors are allowed to mosques except at prayer times, aren't they?
Not if you believe that this isn't a mosque, and not if you want to erect a slaughterhouse, and not if you want to actually not only burn it, but destroy it and erect something
Israeli
else.
police would say a lot of the time they are keeping groups like that away.
So those are not true. They are lying. They allow many of these groups in. Some of them actually do practice some rituals inside the mosque. I mean, how difficult it is to understand that a mosque is a mosque. How is it difficult to understand you as an occupying power has the full responsibility to maintain and protect the status quo and provide people with the freedom of worship? You know how many hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza are unable to actually go to the mosque? Most of the Palestinian people are unable, prevented by the Israeli occupiers. So this is the joke of the Easter holiday by the Israeli lady, that they actually went there because these guys go in their shoes and they play soccer, football. They wanted to prevent them from doing so. Should I laugh? Really, should I laugh, or what should we comment on this? This is an endemic situation. This is absolutely continuing, at least for 74 years. There are three constants in our equation. The first is Israel's expansionism, colonialism, provocation of people, absolute killing on a regular basis. The second is Palestinian self-defense, our clenching to our rights, our sacred rights, our legitimate rights. And the third is the clarity of international law. Israel is an occupier. East Jerusalem is under military occupation, so is the rest of the West Bank.
I want to ask you about the political fallout to all of this, because the governing coalition in Israel has had an Arab-Israeli party within that coalition. It has now suspended its involvement. It hasn't pulled out entirely. What should the response beyond the immediate of that party be to this?
Which party?
The Arab-Israeli party, Ram.
I don't speak on
No, I'm wondering what your view is as the head of the Palestinian mission.
I think this government, this Israeli government, is a very lethal one, very futile so far. They have been publicly, the Prime Minister Bennett, against the two-state solution. He has been publicly against negotiations. He said that from day one that he's pro-settlement, the illegal settlements, very well identified by the international community.
Well, you say they're lethal, but they didn't. Unlike in Mr. Netanyahu's time, they didn't bar Palestinians from coming into Jerusalem in this period, as previous governments have done.
And the amount of illegal colonies and settlements have been approved under this government is rocketing. They exercise the same policy, but they have a different voice. They try to spin it in a different way. No, we don't see any real change in their exercise. The only change we see is that they are public about the colonization of the rest of historic Palestine, that is the West Bank and East Jerusalem. They are public in their endorsement of some Kahanist and very extreme elements. This has one of the most extreme elements of the Israeli political spectrum in history. However, they have some other groups, and we leave it to the other groups to decide if they want to be part of this absolute travesty.
Dr. Husam Zomlot, thank you.